addicted to the internet.
You're always looking for the next hit.
It affects your ability to focus at all.
Could you give it up for 30 days?
It's tough. I failed miserably.
We have your digital detox without going cold turkey.
You got to retrain your brain.
Plus, the new way to remove fat without surgery.
It claims to melt away your fat.
And fast food chains are stepping up their game. How your favorite spots just got healthier. Coming up next.
We'll save lives today. You guys ready to get healthy?
So how many of you are spending your lives walking around like this? Texting, typing, doing all kinds of crazy things. It's the new digital reality. We spend our lives wired and attached to the internet. Today, we're asking the question, could this constant connection actually be an addiction to the internet? One man gave it up completely for 30 days. And ironically, his experiment went viral on the internet. You're all about this process. You're all talking about it because deep down, you know he was onto something important. He's here today to reveal what happened and how you can get the benefits of a digital detox without going cold turkey, because I know that's not very realistic. This whole show will help you take control of your health. Today, it is easier than you think. Now, we've got 3 foods that are being called the anti-Alzheimer's trio. Experts say they can keep your memory sharp. Plus, we've got an investigation of a new way to remove your fat without any surgery at all, and it really seems to work. But first, what does the internet do to your brain?
In just a few short years, the internet has revolutionized our lives. An instantaneous all-access pass to all the information we could ever dream of, keeping us connected 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Astonishingly, we now spend as much as 5 to 7 hours online every day, not just buying stuff, but watching video, socializing on social media, sending emails, and checking one feed after another. But in this brave new wired world, can we ever turn it off? Or are we becoming addicted to the internet? And what does that do to our brain? More than you might think. Recent studies reveal that internet addiction is associated with impaired brain structure and function, short-circuiting in the brain's frontal lobe, which governs executive functions like planning, prioritizing, organizing, and impulse control. Another study showed shrinkage or loss of tissue in the area known as the insula, which regulates our capacity to develop empathy and compassion for others. Author and business consultant Tony Schwartz began to suspect his internet addiction was sabotaging both his attention span and his life. So he set out to do an experiment to beat his addiction once and for all. What he discovered could change your relationship with the internet for good.
This is a catastrophe for America. We've become a place where our kids can't even get our attention and we can't get their attention. So I've asked Tony to join us. He successfully gave up the internet for 30 days. You wrote about it, became ironically, a viral sensation on the web. How difficult was it to get through that period?
It was really difficult at the beginning. So difficult that I actually had to have my younger daughter disconnect me entirely from the internet, and I'm incapable of putting myself back on, so I had no way of going on. But I did go through kind of a withdrawal, and it was I'm almost like the Shakes. I really wanted constantly to get myself back on. I wanted to Google, I wanted to check email, all the things you do.
You describe beautifully how addicted you were to the internet, which sounds just like me. And I bet a lot of folks watching right now. How did you know you needed a detox? How did someone know they have a problem?
Do you have difficulty paying attention? You know, for me, it was picking up a book. I'm a lifelong reader. I love books. And reading the same paragraph over 6 times and finally saying to myself, I can't do it. I can't do it. And that's not a good thing. I better find some way to change this.
The show might seem significant to everybody. It's not just, the internet, by the way. It's not just the way we talk anymore. It's literally changing the way our brains function. And it's become a problem for families all across America. So come on back. Let's explain this to everybody. And I don't want you to belittle the impact it's having on you, because we're all overlooking it, and I'm probably the lead example. So let's look at your brain. Here's what happens with your brain. It craves novelty and excitement. It fires it up. It's like literally fireworks inside there. The internet provides stimulation. Facebook, Instagram, all those celebrity headlines designed perfectly. You can't help but click on them, right? That leads to stimulation, then immediate instant gratification, right? But with the internet, you have access to endless information. You know what it really is? It's fundamentally an interruption machine. The internet is designed on purpose to keep you clicking by interrupting you. And then this cycle repeats itself. You have more stimulation and excitement, back down to more instant gratification, then more excitement, then more stimulation, and back around. And the more you get, the more you want. Which is why Tony thinks this causes something called cognitive overload, where literally the whole system shuts down. That's why you read the same paragraph 6 times, right? And we're all doing it in our own little way. And this addiction affects the way we handle our emotions. It affects the way we make decisions. It affects our ability to focus at all. And some experts are classifying internet addiction as 6 hours or more. I think it's even bigger than that. And we all do 6 hours or more. On average in this country, that's how much internet we're using. So there's actually a push among doctors to classify internet addiction as a medical diagnosis, like drug addiction or cigarette addiction or others like that. And we know we can change a habit, but it takes a little time, takes a little effort. You got to retrain your brain. Tony's experiment started because he was having trouble focusing. So you went cold turkey. Did it work for you? What's your relationship right now when you're back online with the internet?
It's impossible. It's the water we swim in. So there's no realistic possibility you're not going to get back on the internet. It's affecting every part of your life. So really, for me, it was using that quieting time, that time when I could literally first feel my mind quieting down and then my body calming down. Because one of the effects of what you just described is that you feel really adrenalized all the time. You're always looking for the next hit. That really quieted down for me. And so what I felt at the end of it was much more in control of what I do. So awareness is, Dr. Oz says, awareness is one of the key elements of this. You can't change what you don't notice. So noticing is where it starts.
It's hard to give the web up even for a few hours, much less 30 days. And I'm actually curious about the effects of a digital detox. I'm curious what it would do to me. I've played with this idea, but I wanted to test it with someone who I trust a lot. So our go-to tester, Renatha, tried it for just 24 hours, just one day. Let's see how she did.
I usually put my phone right there on the ledge so that if it rings or if something beeps while I'm in the shower, I answer it. I'm sitting in my car and I want to scroll through my cell phone. I had to get up and go to the bathroom, but I saw the red light beeping. It took everything in me not to check it. While I was doing my recordings, immediately I got distracted by the buzz of my cell phone. I picked it up.
So Renatha's in the studio. Was it harder or easier than it looked? Because it looked pretty tough.
Oh, it is tough. I failed miserably. Yeah. Look, I have 2 phones. I have 2 phones. I'm addicted to the internet. I need to research everything. I need to search everything. If something comes up on the TV and I want to know who that person is, I go right to my phone and I start Googling and schmoogling. If I see a light, I don't like to see indicators, first of all. You know how Facebook gives you, oh, you have 3 waiting. I don't like to see 3 waiting. So I got to go to it. So,
sure.
Yeah. And then I do it on both my phones.
Very defensible, isn't it? We all do. Listen, I'm looking something up. It seems important, except it's taking your brain to a place that literally it can't afford to go right now. So up next, Tony has a realistic 30-day plan to reduce your dependence on the internet. How to cut back without going crazy. Be right back.
Next, feel the benefits of a digital detox without going cold turkey. Tony shares what he did to kick his online addiction and reconnect with life. How to go 30 days without the internet.
Now that I know what it's doing to our brains.
And keep your sanity. Coming up.
What did you feel when you first heard the diagnosis?
Susan Lucci and her daughter
It was a very emotional place to go.
share their private family health issue.
He was 19 months old. I mean, I knew something was wrong.
And the accident that almost ended it all.
I had a hairline crack on my nose, gashes under here. He said if I don't get every single piece of glass out, you will lose your eye.
All new Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
Today we're asking the tough questions you need to ask to take control of your health. Like, Are you addicted to the internet? Which for a lot of you is yes. I'm back with journalist Tony Schwartz, who went on a 30-day internet detox, and he says 3 months later, he still feels the daily benefits. My go-to tester, we all love Renata's here. She tried the detox for just 24 hours, and in her own words, failed miserably. All right.
Yes.
Give me these phones. Give me these phones.
Okay.
Jeez, Renata.
All right.
She's texting as I'm talking.
You know what? And I can't even get to them because you're putting them there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to sit on the phone. Now you really can't get to them. All right, so Tony says he's got a realistic plan that everyone can try without going crazy, and it does not involve going cold turkey like he did. The first step is to have a tech-free morning. What does it mean? Why is it so important?
Well, tech-free morning, that's a long amount of time. I'm actually just talking about when you wake up and you've gone through your various chores, you sit down to go to work, the first minimum 30 minutes of the day, you have your digital devices turned off so that you can absorb yourself in something that's important at a time when you're feeling the fewest distractions and the highest energy. Because if you can get something really valuable and important done at the beginning of the day, the rest of the day is going to feel a lot better no matter what happens. So that's the way I start every day, doing the most important thing first for at least 30 minutes.
So Renata's shaking her head. If you didn't take that phone to the shower that day, which you just, the one day we saw you didn't do, what would happen?
I mean, I would miss something. I would feel like I'm missing something. And I guess that's what the issue is. You know, I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like something, is awry if I don't have my phone right there. I mean, I literally wake up with it. I have a couch right next to my bed, and on the arm of the couch is right next to my head. So the phone is right next to my head. The phones are next to my head.
That is really a classic example of an addiction. It's the compulsive need to respond to a stimulus. That's what an addiction is. And the first defense of any addict is denial, and denial takes the form of rationalization. I need to do this.
I was just about to rationalize it too.
Yeah, it's critically
important. Well, it's
important.
2015. We need our internet.
Yeah, but you don't want to lose it you don't want your internet at the expense of your brain.
You're right, but the phones can also be stimulants for your brain as well. Just like, second graders now have calculators.
Sugar is a stimulant for your brain. So if you start off the day eating sugar, what are you going to do the rest of the day? Eat more sugar, be more hyped up.
So that you can continue
So it's an
throughout the day.
instant form of gratification at the expense of a longer-term satisfaction. That is really what it's about.
I'm going to say, when I first heard about this idea, I thought it was a little kooky, frankly, Tony. And although I know you and I respect the work, but I respect very much, now that I know what it's doing to our brains, that it's not an option for me anymore. Yeah. See, sugar, when I was growing up, it was sort of a nice thing to have. I didn't think much of it. I thought if I had it or didn't have it, didn't affect my body that much. Now I know what it really does inside of us. I think it's a good metaphor. Yeah. The web is taking our brains to a place we can't recover from. So the idea of carving out, you said half an hour. I think I could do it. If you do it, I'll do it. Half an hour, first thing, our most creative time, where we're least distracted. Can we all think about that as an option?
But is it a half an hour before work or half an hour as soon as you get up? As soon as you get up, half an hour?
No, it's a half an hour when you're ready to start work. Okay? So you can have your little fix right when you get up, and then you go and you have breakfast and you take a shower and you do your stuff. And then the first time you sit down, you are 100% turned off.
Turn it off, okay.
And you have a stopping time.
Okay.
So you say, I'm going to do this from 8:30 to 9, and at 9 o'clock, I'm back on.
That's realistic. That's realistic.
That's only one.
That's the second step, which is another big challenge. You say we have to spend 20 minutes reading something real. Not on the web.
Well, so we're losing the capacity to read. That was my experience. I see it everywhere that I go. I ask young kids, what's the last book you read? They look at me like I'm nuts. Yeah. So
even my Bible's on my phone. I don't have,
Is it really?
It is.
Yeah, but I bet she doesn't read it at great length. She reads little bits.
No, I read my Bible. Praise the Lord.
Praise
the Lord. but I mean, like I just said, even my Bible's on my phone. I don't have a real, know.
So in print, because we know that if you read in print, that's actually a better experience for the brain in terms of absorbing, in terms of depth. So 20 minutes a day on something that requires your full concentration. For you, the Bible would be great. That requires your full concentration for the entire duration that you're doing it, but again with a stopping time, so that you feel like. Well, for me, I would like to see people go more, but 20 minutes is a great starting amount.
So I'm giving you this book, one of the new books. I'm taking your phones. It's a fair trade-off. All right. And the last tip is a digital bedtime. This is not what most people think it is. How do you define it?
I had defined a digital bedtime as a point at which during the evening you literally turn off your devices between the time that you do that and you go to bed so that you have a period of time where you're actually allowing your brain to calm down, your mind to calm down, your body to get more relaxed. Not only is that good for your brain, but it's also good for your sleep. So it's beginning the day with a period of time off, ending the day with a period of time off. I think that's realistic in a world in which we must be on a good amount of the time.
You know, I called him last night to double check. I was curious if he was really doing it. He didn't answer the phone, even though he was coming on today.
Check you
so he's
out.
check you out, exactly.
Well, see, but you missed him though. I guess it didn't prevent you from being here, so.
This way he rested better and he showed up alert.
Right, yeah.
Look how alert I am.
Yes, you are.
And you're gonna try a mini detox whenever you have a chance in your life. I think doing something along the lines of what Tony did was worth and admirable.
Yeah.
I know I can't do it, but people better than me will be able to do it. Just take one day and not try it. But in the meantime, I'm gonna follow your plan.
Never say can't.
You're in Renatha?
Yeah, we got it.
We got it. Tony, thank you very much. All right, before you give up on the internet, you can go to DrOz.com to find out Tony's digital detox plan, then turn it off. We'll be right back.
Next, there are 3 foods getting buzz right now. They may improve your memory, sharpness, and prevent Alzheimer's disease. We'll show you how to include them in your daily diet. The anti-Alzheimer's trio you should be eating. Coming up next. Jamie Lynn Sigler's private battle with MS.
Why did you decide to keep it a secret for so long?
The painful truth she hid from the world.
An industry professional had told me, if you can hide it, it will be best. I thought it meant that I was going to end up in a wheelchair.
All New Oz. That's coming up on Thursday.
This show is all about giving you the best choices to make today for a healthier tomorrow. And there's a major buzz right now over the 3 foods you should add to your diet. That together may improve your memory, sharpness, and maybe even help you prevent Alzheimer's disease. Some experts are calling this the anti-Alzheimer's trio. Now, I was so intrigued by it, I had to call one of my core team experts, Max Lugavere, to look into it. Welcome, Max.
Hey, how are you?
Now, Max has been on a mission to show the connection between what we eat and how it affects our brain. Memories are our most treasured assets. You guys always tell me that. That's what you care the most about. How do foods, like the ones we're going to talk about, impact on our memory?
Food has a massive impact on not only the health of our body, but of our brains too. Who knew? Coconut oil, which is the first food that's featured in this anti-Alzheimer's trio, is full of a kind of fat that has a very special effect on the body. It can not only provide very clean burning fuel source to brain cells, but there's also some evidence that it can provide a sort of alternate fuel source for ailing brain cells. It's incredible.
The second of the trio, sort of surprised me.
Yeah, so the second of the trio is grass-fed beef. Now, wild fish is definitely a brain health rock star, but grass-fed beef is actually very high in omega-3s, and this is really amazing. Grass-fed beef has 3 times the amount of vitamin E than grain-fed beef, and there's actually some evidence that vitamin E can slow the progression of Alzheimer's disease. Imagine what it could do in a healthy brain.
So the big takeaway, by the way, I'm getting at is it's not just what you eat, it's what they eat. It does make a difference, which is why these solutions make a bit of a nudge to the way we think about it, the world that we live in. My recommendation for the amount of meat, by the way, don't go hog wild on this. It should be about the amount of meat that you put in the palm of your hand or a deck of playing cards, roughly the amount of 3 ounces. The final food, the anti-Alzheimer's trio.
Yeah, so avocado. Avocado is a brain health superfood. It's very high in monounsaturated fats, which are great for your cardiovascular system. The brain relies on vascular health. It also has double the potassium of a banana, an avocado.
It does?
Yeah, crazy. With a lot less sugar. And there's also evidence that avocado oil can reduce oxidative stress in the brain and improve mitochondrial function. Mitochondria are like the powerhouses of brain cells.
So we make this little plate for everybody. You can eat these things apart, but it's sort of more fun to use them as building blocks for a tasty meal. So I've got a little challenge. Max and I'm going to be the judges. We offered our viewers the opportunity to combine coconut oil, grass-fed beef, and that avocado. How are you? And we've got 2 Valerie's here, and I'll get to Jeanette in a second. Who's got her dish. Are you nervous about the competition?
A little.
Yeah, I would be. Jeanette, are you nervous too?
A little.
Have you tasted each other's food at all?
No, but that looks awesome.
Don't support the enemy. You're trying to win here.
She's a friend. She can't be an enemy.
Are you really friends?
No, we just met.
Oh, she's a friend now.
Now.
We'll see what happens at the end of the show. This is when the real emotions come out. All right, so Valerie, what you make, and we're going to taste while you go.
So
So I'm kind of spicy, so I wanted to spice it up a little bit. I put in the Scotch bonnet pepper, right, with the avocado. It's on, I know you love quinoa, so I put quinoa and the avocados and threw in some apples and beets. You know, I wanted to do something special for you, so I called my girlfriend.
Well, thank you, Valoria. And I love show-offs, by the way. The
That's
quinoa
so good.
Extra little, bzz, little zip.
There you go.
Nice, isn't it, Max? Don't vote yet. Just comment on it, though. You like the kick of the spice?
It's really good. I like the vinegary. There's like a vinegar flavor. Vinegar is one of my favorite flavors. So.
All right, so we'll come back in a second. Next, we got Jeanette over here. She has the anti-Alzheimer's trio rolled up into something very, very different. What did she do?
I actually made a breakfast bowl. Because I'm a mom, 2 little kids, and I have to do it quickly. So it's grass-fed beef, mushrooms, onions, olives, and coconut oil, avocado. It's all in there.
Max, thoughts? Judge Max?
That's pretty good. I like it.
Well, you got to make a decision, Tiger.
My decision, that's more my style.
Okay.
Laura, that was really good with the spice, little kicker there. And I do love the quinoa, I've got to say, but I'm a breakfast person.
So am I.
And I love being able to make new kinds of breakfast so we don't get bored of the same old. So you're going for Valoria, I'll go over Jeanette. Frankly, there's no losers here, right? They're only winners. Guys are making all these foods so healthy. Congratulations to both of you. You'll share a prize, which is, I don't know. You guys can take Max home for the weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll be your personal chef. I'm going to put both these recipes on DrOz.com so you can try it yourselves and judge on your own. I'll be right back.
Next, can a new FDA-approved procedure really melt your fat away, blasting away the flab without the surgery?
This is a really exciting time for fat.
We're trying it out. Is this the game changer you've been waiting for? Coming up.
What did you feel when you first heard the diagnosis?
Susan Lucci and her daughter
It was a very emotional place to go.
share their private family health issue.
He was 19 months old. I mean, I knew something was wrong.
And the accident that almost ended it all.
I had a hairline crack on my nose, gashes under here. He said if I don't get every single piece of glass out, you will lose your eye.
All New Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
All show long, we've been showing you how you can take control of your health today. And now, a brand new way to remove fat without surgery. Now, it sounds too good to be true, so we're investigating. Now, this is Noemi. She's having the sculpture procedure done that the FDA recently approved, this procedure, and it claims, if I got this right, to actually melt away your fat. Now, dermatologists and plastic surgeons around the country are calling this a game changer in fat removal, and 2 of them happen to be here today, world experts in this technology. Dermatologist Dr. Matthew Avram. He's the director of Dermatology, Laser, and Cosmetic Center at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston, and a plastic surgeon, Dr. Lawrence Bass, one of the lead investigators in this clinical trial. Now, I don't bring classmates on that often, but this is one of my classmates. He can attest that I went through residency because we did it day by day, night by night together. Welcome to both of you. Dr. Avram, let's start with you. We're hearing a lot about these cold and hot therapies. You okay, Noemi? I hear that beeping.
Good.
All right, so Noemi's still breathing over here. We'll come back to her in a second. What are these hot and cold therapies?
Well, this is a really exciting time for fat. You know, up until 5 years ago, we had only one way to remove fat, which was liposuction, which is a surgical procedure. Now we have a bunch of devices that can non-invasively remove fat in a safe and effective manner. There is little downtime at these procedures. They tend to be comfortable, and you can get right back to what you were doing that day. This is a paradigm shift in our field, and currently 75% of fat removal procedures are non-invasive.
3/4?
Yes.
All right, so, I mean, as a surgeon, I tend to be skeptical of any new technology because my patients pay the price if they don't work out. What's different about this new approach? It does seem a little too good to be true on the surface, that you can remove fat without surgery.
Well, the nice thing about this particular device is that you can treat a larger area in a shorter period of time. You can do a larger area in about 25 minutes, and the applicators on the skin can be molded in a way so that you can tailor the treatment to particular problem areas.
Does it hurt at all, Noemi?
No, at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
And she hadn't been sedated, Dr. Bass?
No medications. She just lay down on the table. 25 minutes later, she'll get up and go.
All right. So how does this device claim to work, Dr. Avram?
So this is laser heat, and the heat penetrates deeply into the fat, and during that process, it improves the fat layer thickness by about 24% on ultrasound studies.
24% reduction?
In thickness, yes.
All right, so if I can, I'm going to show up, maybe hold on here, everyone what Dr. Avram's talking about. And I want you to understand this because these concepts are now becoming mainstream, and there are lots of different devices that can do these, but this is a newer one, the newest one, frankly, just got approved because it can, be customized and work maybe more effectively with less discomfort. So the device is taken and it's placed up against the belly. This device actually is used specifically by taking lasers that emit a specific wavelength to affect only the fat cells, not the skin, just the fat cells. So you don't burn your skin or other tissues, and you actually aren't even killing anything right then and there by going from 98 degrees, our normal temperature in Fahrenheit, to 117 degrees Fahrenheit. You see these fat cells, they begin to separate away from the tissues. They begin to actually get this message that we don't like them. They get mad and they die. And my body then begins to remove it, and you see visible changes in the amount of fat within 2 to 3 months. Doesn't happen immediately. It happens as these fat cells begin to quit life and leave us. And by leaving us, it means you actually have less area that you can store possible fat. Now, the results of these are pretty dramatic. I've got 2 pictures from Dr. Bass. These are his patients. Now, again, if you look at these, before and after, there's a significant difference after a treatment. But I've got to say, it hasn't been tested for long term. Here's another image for somebody else who also got a pretty good result. So I was so concerned about these results because they seem so fantastic that I actually reached out to some of your colleagues. I reached out to members of the American Academy of Dermatology and the American Society of Plastic Surgeons about the device. And I got to say, some said it was too soon to know, but others were very excited and said it had lots of potential. So with that in mind, I actually want to continue to educate our audience. Dr. Bass, who's the candidate that you think is ideal for this procedure?
Well, the ideal candidate is somebody like Noemi, somebody who's in the gym exercising and looks really good, and she just wants to look great, can't get rid of that small or medium-sized roll of fat. The other candidate is somebody who just doesn't want to go to the operating room and is willing to do it a few times to chip away at it and bring it down step by step.
So give me a concrete example. When Noemi's done here and she waits her 2 months, how will she fit differently? I mean, how many belt notches tighter will she be able to get?
So she'll probably come in, that's actually a good way to think about it. She'll probably come in about 1 or 2 notches on her belt with a single treatment, 25 minutes.
Oh my goodness. All right, so audience, ask away questions. You're the jury, so who's got a question? Go ahead.
My question is probably one that most people are thinking about. Is it expensive, and would it be covered by my insurance company?
Okay, so the cost for the larger treatment is about $1,000 to $1,400 per treatment. That's going to vary regionally. There are going to be some parts of the country where it's going to be more expensive. If you're treating a smaller area, the cost is going to be less. And this is not covered by medical insurance because it is considered a cosmetic procedure.
Well, I mean, it is cosmetic. That's fair. I mean, though it might be very valuable for you. Go ahead.
Hi, Dr. Oz. How are you?
How are you? Very, very well.
Good. Now, you said it was going to take off a few notches, correct?
A few notches. Let me see your belt. So yes. So in theory, we notched it up to about here.
Okay.
Inch or 2. All right.
Now, will they stay away or will they come back? I mean.
Good question. Dr. Bass.
Okay, that's very important. You pretty much have a fixed population of fat cells in your body, and whichever ones we get rid of, whether we do liposuction or we destroy the fat cells with something like Sculpture, those fat cells are gone. You would have to gain a lot of weight to build any new fat cells.
What do you think? You want Dr. Bass's business card?
I would love his business card. I have a plan next year.
You do?
Yeah.
How many of you would want his business card? Oh my goodness. Listen, this is a new industry and it's going to grow pretty quickly. I'm actually curious to see how it evolves. I don't think you should all rush off and get it. Get your best friend to have it done first. Wait 2 months, make sure it's okay, then you go. All right, we'll be right back.
Jamie Lynn Sigler's private battle with MS.
Why did you decide to keep it a secret for so long?
The painful truth she hid from the world.
An industry professional had told me, if you can hide it, it will be best. I thought it meant that I was going to end up in a wheelchair.
All New Oz. That's coming up on Thursday.
food's always receiving a bad rap. It's high in calories, high in fat, and ingredients that just aren't good for us. So I point that out because I'm happy moving in the right direction. There's still more to be done, but it's a good step. Let's go through a second issue, which is happening. I'm seeing a lot of this. Fast food chains are offering additions to their meals that normally you couldn't find. So we all know about apple slices now. They're out there in place of the fries. What other choices are out there?
So there are a lot of changes happening in this arena. And as a registered dietitian, I can't be more excited about it. So you can get kale now. You can get quinoa in salads. You can also get heart-healthy fats when you go to sandwich shops. So adding guacamole instead of cheese or avocado alone instead of cheese is a good step in terms of being heart-healthy, a heart-healthy step.
It gives us the power back.
It gives us a lot of power back. And while you mentioned that, one of my favorite trends is the trend of customization. So if you go to some of these fast casual Mexican grills, now you have the option to have tofu or traditional protein options. So as a dietitian, now my clients have options. If they're trying to reduce their meat intake, they can still eat out, feel comfortable about it, and have lots of choices.
How much is this going to cost us? Is it going to be a price premium?
Yeah, we're going to see a little bit of a price increase. And that's just like whenever you decide to eat healthy at home. Sometimes you might notice a little bit of a difference, but that's sometimes the price that we pay for convenience. I like to show people that there are ways to eat healthy on a budget because it's very possible. But these restaurants, sometimes when they start to add healthier ingredients because there's not as many or as much of them on the menu, it's going to cost them a little bit more. So they have to often pass that on to the consumer.
So the big story is we're moving in the right direction. It's going to be a lot easier for you to make healthy choices at a fast food location that you like. Take advantage of it. And all I can say is thank you to the food industry for hearing your guys' cries. Remember, you vote with your pocketbook 3 times a day. You keep voting for it, the right stuff, and they'll keep making it for you. It's a huge step in the right direction. There'll be more to come. We'll be right back.
Next, whether you're on my day off diet or your own meal plan, I'm going to show you how to eat out at a restaurant, even when you're trying to lose weight. A simple cheat sheet for navigating any menu so you can make healthier choices. Next.
What did you feel when you first heard the diagnosis?
Susan Lucci and her daughter
It was a very emotional place to go.
share their private family health issue
He was 19 months old. I mean, I knew something was wrong.
and the accident that almost ended it all.
I had a hairline crack on my nose, gashes under here. He said if I don't get every single piece of glass out, you will lose your eye.
All New Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
Today's show is all about the best choices to make today for a healthier tomorrow. Now, a lot of you are on the day off diet, and the feedback that I'm getting is that you're seeing real results and losing the weight. I couldn't be happier. But what if you want to mix things up? What if you want to go out to eat, for example? And whether you're on the day off diet or you got your own meal plan, I want to make it easier for you to make healthy choices. So I'm giving you an essential guide on how to eat out at a restaurant when you're dieting. This will become your cheat sheet on how to navigate any menu. So let's say you headed to a chain restaurant. We got some guests here. How are you guys? How's the food?
Good.
Do they sit in the booth with you?
Yes,
I'll join you.
sure.
All right, so you normally go into a restaurant, right? And the trick to all these chain restaurants is to figure out what the pitfall is, and then to fix it. So if you're this is probably a fajita place, right? Mexican restaurant, right? Now, chicken fajita, at the end of the day, is going to get you 1,000 calories at that meal with the sides and the cheese and all those good things you're going to add, not to mention lots of carbs.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a fajita.
Fajita.
Can we all say it together? Say fajita.
Fajita.
All right, fajita is this thing. You can get the chicken. You love the chicken. You can use white rice. That's fine too. Get the guacamole on the side. You can get the salsa all you want, but instead of all the bread, you're going to wrap it in lettuce. This is a day off diet approved plan, by the way. So you're not sacrificing anything, but what you are gaining is the fact that this meal is 213 calories.
Wow. Awesome.
For all this food.
Great.
So get eating.
Okay.
Will you give me a good Yelp review, you think?
I would definitely.
You would?
Yes.
A big earnest one? Loud?
Definitely.
All right,
Yes.
keep eating. Enjoy
Thank you.
it. All right,
Thank
let's
you.
say, because this happens once in a while in my household, your husband does something wrong. He's in the doghouse. And he decides to make it up to you with a nice Italian dinner. Dominique and Gary are here at Azzolino's Trattoria. How are you?
Great.
How long have you guys been married?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. Making mistakes already, Gary.
I did, but
So what did you do wrong?
I can't discuss it.
So
But
angry.
we got past it.
Well, I hope this gets up back into the house and out of the doghouse. So I've got a hack for all the Italian restaurant eaters out there. I happen to, since my wife is partially Italian,
Oh, you gotta
eat out.
hook me up.
It's the best. So normally you go to these restaurants, you get the bread, and all. By the time you're down, you're destroyed everything.
Yes.
This is a meal everyone can eat. I like the music, by the way. We start with the minestrone soup. Minestrone soup, hearty, unlimited amount of veggies, can fill you up easily. Then I give you a little shrimp cocktail, and the shrimp cocktail is great because it's got lots of protein, but low calorie, and it tastes great. Most people love it for that reason.
Can we have some?
Please start eating. Don't just watch me. Start drinking the wine too, by the way, before it gets taken away. Then I gave you some. Seriously, Gary, have some of that stuff.
I'll start with the soup.
Start with the soup. The salmon is roasted, which is fantastic, but I put a little basil and mint next to it, which you'll like a lot, and a side of broccoli rabe with some garlic. Okay. This is an Italian menu that works for everybody because all Italian menus have fish on them, right?
Yeah.
So go for the fish instead of all the bread stuff. Watch the fried stuff. You don't need any of that. Yes, they have it. Yes, it tastes good, but you don't need that. Okay. You get the fish, which is the core of that Italian Mediterranean diet anyway. This entire meal is 600 calories.
Wow.
And you're not sacrificing a single thing.
Wow.
Not counting the wine, by the way.
Wow.
Great.
Right. Good luck getting back in the house, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
It gets better after 30 years. All right. So maybe you don't want Italian, you're craving sushi, you go out to a Japanese restaurant with a friend, but you're on a diet. In fact, Jennifer, you're on the day off diet. You've been on it for a while here.
Yes, I have.
So how do you use it? How do you handle it when you go out to eat?
Well, we go out for sushi about 2 times a week, and I've made some adjustments. I now go for brown rice instead of white, and also instead of the tempura, I'll go for like a rainbow roll, keeping it healthy.
Well, it's not just healthy, it's a big difference. A tempura roll, you all get sometimes thinking it's good for you. 508 calories worth.
It's a lot.
Yeah, so you don't want all that and lots of other bad things. So you can slash those numbers with 2 quick trips. You know what a Naruto sushi roll is?
No, I don't.
Naruto sushi rolls, they instead of wrapping it in rice, they wrap it in cucumber, just like this. So you get 1/5 literally 1/5 the calories. And it doesn't run into your bloodstream. Or you can get, as you have in front of you now, a seaweed sushi cone, which I happen to like because you get the avocado, you get the healthy fats from the fish, and it'll cut the amount of carbs you'll get by 100 grams.
Wow.
Which is a big deal because we don't want that messing up your hormones. Please start eating.
I know.
Guys,
it looks
all of
great.
you guys should be eating over there. Stop fooling around and get the food in your body.
Yay.
Enjoy the crunch with that, by the way. And don't forget the sake. For the full day off diet plan, you go to DrOz.com. We'll be right back.
Ready to get started on the day off diet? Check out this month's issue of The Good Life magazine for exclusive bonus recipes, tips, and motivational tools to help you reach your weight loss goals. What are you waiting for? Coming in February on The Dr. Oz Show. Exclusive interviews. What's next for Charlie Sheen? Jamie Lynn Sigler speaks out on her secret battle with MS. Yolanda Foster opens up about her invisible disease. In-depth investigations. The truth behind America's biggest foods. And it's See It to Believe It month. Dangerous diet trends. Coming this February on The Dr. Oz Show.
Throughout the show, I've been showing you how to make better choices today because it'll give you a healthier tomorrow. So what about the food and drinks in your life? Will it be just as healthy tomorrow as it is today? Not always easy to figure out. Take milk as an example. And this says, use by, today. How convenient. So is it safe to drink today? It says you have to use it by today. Who thinks it's safe to use it today?
Yeah.
You all agree?
Yeah.
It's safe today.
Yeah.
How about tomorrow?
Yes.
It's safe tomorrow too?
Yes, I think so.
Who's worried about tomorrow? They're so. Oh yeah, one person here. Why are you worried about using it tomorrow?
Dairy just weirds me out.
Yeah. And plus it says use by, right?
Yes.
It's right there. The number.
Yes.
All right. So what does that really mean, use by? I got thinking about this. The answer to the questions, by the way, you guys are so smart, is yes. You can use it today, and you can use it tomorrow. The use by date is recommended for the best flavor only. So don't freak out about it. It's only about flavor. It turns out the way you can tell if it's good or bad, your nose. You gotta smell it. That's why I want you to print out this shelf life cheat sheet, right? So here's milk right down there, but I got tons of other things as well. It starts so easy to figure out. You're gonna put this on your fridge and then pin this on your Pinterest page so it's a handy tool for later on. It can save you time and money, not to mention improve your health. And remember, share it with all your friends. Remember, happy and healthy, it starts at home. I'll see you next time.